right.
Somebody say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord. My.
My.
Thank God Almighty.
All right.
Have a little talk with Jesus.
Have a little talk with him.
Tell him all about your
All
troubles.
about it.
Feel your fingers cry. He'll answer.
Yes.
Find out.
Yes.
Give a prayer your turn. Know a little fire burn. Just a little talk
Just a little talk.
with Jesus. Don't take much.
Amen.
Little talk. Make it right.
Make it right.
God will make it right.
Yes,
Make it right.
Praise the Lord. Give God a praise. Somebody give God a hand of praise. Somebody praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
It was snowing last week. Couldn't come to church unless I had a snowmobile. But this week, we can come. Worship the true and the living God.
Yes.
So we thank God.
Thank you.
Chance to be in his house one more Sunday. Praise the Lord. John chapter 4. We'll begin reading at verse number 20 down to verse 26. John chapter 4, verse 20 through verse 26. Our fathers worship in this mountain. And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh, when ye shall neither in this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship, you know not. You worship, you know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. The woman saith unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. Amen. I want to talk today on the subject, being a true worshiper of God. Being a true worshiper of God. Dear God, bless us today to preach the word, to preach it without fear, to preach it without apprehension, to preach it to the glory and the honor of thee, that heaven might speak the words that it won't put forth, that we might be a vessel chosen and usable for service to do the will of thee. Thank you, Lord, for another chance to come and to preach a word on behalf of heaven. Lord, we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Being a true worshiper of God. Tomorrow we celebrate in this country the birthday of the famous civil rights movement advocate and leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. We in this great United States of America will take some time out of our schedules to reflect upon, to reminisce, and to ponder upon the life and legacy of Dr. King. We celebrate this particular holiday only after much petitioning and hard work by various groups and various people to see this day become a holiday in this country. A holiday celebrating a legendary figure of color. You see, because before there were ever a black or African American president, there was a holiday commemorating the life of a man of color.
Amen.
We should be proud of this particular holiday. Because with not only Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights leader and advocate of equal rights for all people, and particularly for those who had been oppressed, for those who had not been allowed to vote, for those who were not allowed equal public facilities or access to those facilities, for those who were not allowed to travel or interstate transportation, for those who were seen as less than a full-fledged American. And for those who were not even seen as being an equal human being, equal with the Caucasian race. But Dr. King was also an assistant pastor to his father at one time. He was also a pastor in a great church in Atlanta, Georgia, before becoming the full-fledged leader of the SCLC, or the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He did not just advocate for the rights of the oppressed and downtrodden, but he also was a true worshiper of God.
Yeah.
He was a born-again believer who not only gave his life for the cause of the outcast and the socially deprived people of this country and the world, but he had seen and had been to the mountaintop. Are you going to hear what I'm saying? He had been to the mountaintop, and he saw what it looked like on the other side of racism and oppression and being downtrodden all your life. He said in his last speech, trying to help some garbage workers who was on strike in Memphis, Tennessee, that I've been to the mountaintop. He said, I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land. King ended by saying, my eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Only a man who was a true worshiper of God could say what he saw at the end of his life. We all need to be like Dr. King and see the glory of the coming of the Lord. And know that the only way that we can see, feel, or experience the glory of the Lord is that we have to become true worshipers of God. For who will say, for God I live and for God I die. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In the Bible, there is a narrative relative to this position. And it relates to all the readers of the Holy Writ. Here is Jesus in John's Gospel in chapter 4. He deals with a woman of Samaria, a woman who needed to become a true worshiper of a true and living God. In John's Gospel, we see Jesus' human side more clearly in order to see his divine, holy, and godly side. Wonder how it must have felt to talk to Jesus, who was God in the flesh, sent down from heaven to save all mankind from their sins. Wonder how it must have felt to be in person and have a direct encounter with a man named Jesus.
All right, brother, go ahead.
And being able to talk to the Son of the living God face to face. You say have a little talk with Jesus, but this lady had a little talk with the Messiah. And she talked with him face to face. Not even knowing who he was, but just knowing he had to be different. He looked different. He acted different. And he couldn't have been Samaritan. He had to be a Jewish. And so here she was talking to Jesus Christ, Son of the living God, talking to the Messiah, the anointed one of God. Sit down from glory as the word, as the Logos, to save mankind from his sin. Listen to me. John chapter 4, verses 21 through 24 and surrounding verses, we get a true visual meaning of what the writer John the Apostle is trying to convey to us. We need to get a basic understanding if you want to get a look and understand a little bit about his gospel. See, John writes in chapter 20, verses 30 and 31, and many of the signs truly did Jesus in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written that ye might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing you might have life through his name. John writes this book so that the signs, wonders, and miracles that Jesus performed all through his gospel will draw the readers to believe that Jesus is the Christ. It's written so that we will understand that he is the Son of the living God. All the witness in the book of John is written to show us that Jesus Christ is God. I know there's some Jehovah's Witnesses that say he is not God. And he's just a great prophet. And he was some Galilean that he did good, but don't call him God. Some other religions say it's all right. He was a good man. He did miracles. He did signs and wonders. But ain't no way he could be God. There are still some Orthodox Jews who are still waiting for the Messiah to come.
Yeah.
Still waiting for Jesus to appear, to crack the clouds, not understanding that he already been here. He's already established himself as God. Because had he not come, we would be lost in our sins. And wouldn't be able to say that if I die, heaven is my home. Because if there's no Jesus, there's no blood to cleanse us from all our unrighteousness.
Yeah.
And we walk around as dead men and women walking without hope and without any way of making it to heaven. But because Jesus came, and because he was and is the Son of the living God, God in second person, we have a right to the tree of life. We need to understand that through his name we can gain salvation. That believing in and on through the name and person of Jesus brings life eternally to the believer who believes in him. Thus we find ourselves on the road walking through Samaria with Jesus, the Son of God. You see, Jesus had just left Judea and departed again into Galilee. But the Bible makes it clear that Jesus must needs had to pass through. It was necessary for him to go through Samaria. For in Samaria there was a place called Sychar. And in this place was near to the parcel ground that Jacob gave to Joseph. And it was the place of Jacob's well. Well, at the well, Jesus knew that there would be a Samaritan woman who needed to hear the saving gospel of Jesus Christ. In Samaria was a woman who was somewhat like some modern day people who are worshipers but have never, ever gave their lives to God.
All right, son.
And have never understood that I can worship, but if I don't come to God, I got to go to the devil. The devil has worshipers. The devil has people that cut themselves up. The devil has people that make blood sacrifices on his behalf. The devil has folk that think that they are on their way to paradise, but are on their way to hell, because they have not become a true believer in Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. The devil makes provisions for you, but the devil never ever tells you that he's on his way to being lost also. That he's on his way to a place that has prepared for him that's called H-E-double-L. Are you listening today? So here we see a woman who had many problems, had many difficulties that kept her from being a true worshiper of God. She had never tasted of the water of life. You see, Jesus said, I got to go to Samaria because there's a woman there who I need to talk to.
All right.
And Jesus knew her predicament. Can I talk to you just a few minutes?
Go ahead.
Sometimes we think God has forgotten all about us. But God sees all and knows all and hears all. And all you got to do is just have a little talk with Jesus. And that'll make everything all right. Here was a lady of Samaria who needed to have a little talk with Jesus. And she did not even realize who she was talking to. But she was just talking to a man who offered her some water. And did not know that he had not only a physical water, because the water was in the well, but he had spiritual water.
Yeah.
The water that could make us clean from all of our sins. The woman, oh my God, did not know who she was dealing with. But as the text go on, her eyes will begin to open. And she will understand that this is the Messiah that we've been waiting for all along. Jesus knew her predicament, and that's why he said to her, give me to drink. He told her, give me to drink. Notice, the woman did not say yes. And the woman did not say no. But the woman immediately turned to the ancestry racial wall that stood between her and Jesus. Recognized that this man must be a Jewish man, most likely by his facial features, his complexion, his hairstyle, and type of dress. And type of dress, not a dress, but type of dressing clothes he had on. She replied, how is it Listen to what she said. How is it that thou being a Jew, as to drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Are y'all listening to me?
Amen.
Are you listening to me?
Amen.
Huh?
Yes.
Are you listening?
Yes.
Glad to know that. Huh? Then said the woman of Samaria to him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, ask and drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Now look at Jesus' answer. He said in her verse 10, if thou knowest the gift of God, and who it is that saith unto thee, give me to drink, thou would have answered him, and he would give thee living water. Oh my God. He would have given you living water. The Jews had no dealings with the Samaritans. That was the first problem. The second problem, that she was leaning on the fact that her Samaritan background was in direct opposition to his Jewish heritage. Understand, some of us allow ourselves to come up with every excuse about why we can't do and work for the Lord.
Okay. All right, then.
Can I say it again?
Say it.
Some of us come up with every excuse to try to not to deal with God on a personal basis. But understand, if we're going to be a child of God, we got to talk to our daddy sometime
That's right.
before it's over.
That's right.
Am I right about it? We can't keep running away from God and wondering why things are not working for us.
Amen.
When all we got to do is just stop and have a little talk.
Yes.
Thanks, Simone. Have a little talk with Jesus.
All right.
Huh? But the Jews and the Samaritans, they hated each other. You see, the Samaritans, they were half-breeds. Huh?
Yes.
And so she made an excuse that because I'm Samaritan, you shouldn't even be talking to me anyway. Because the Jews and the Samaritans, we are at odds with each other.
Yeah, right.
We have no business. Don't let me be seen in public with you. Huh? But we have every excuse to keep us and to make us come short as worshipers of God. And because of our shortcomings, we will say, Lord, when I get myself fixed up, I'll go to church.
Uh-huh.
Lord, when I do this, and when I've done that, Lord, when I get this car running right, I'll be back in church. Lord, when I get my hair fixed right, I'll be back in church. Lord, I ain't got no fine dress or no fine suit to put on this morning, and I just can't make it in church. They're going to laugh at me. But understand today that God wants us to come into his house to worship him. He said, come as you are. He don't turn nobody away.
Amen.
Your shoes might be turned over. That's all right. We'll get you a new pair of shoes. We'll find a way to get you. Listen to me. Don't let anything keep you from coming to God's house.
Amen.
Don't let anything keep you from getting in touch with Jesus. But we make excuses like the Samaritan woman. And Jesus was telling her that the water I have is not physical water. She thought he was talking about physical water, because the woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with. He said, the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? In other words, where you get this water from? The well is deep. We ain't got nothing to get it out with, and you talking about giving me some water. She asked the question, art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereunto, and his children and his cattle? Jesus answered unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Drink all the Jacob water you want. Drink out of Jacob well all you want. It tastes mighty good. But it ain't got no lasting effect.
Go ahead.
Because that water is just physical water. But if you want to get to heaven, you're going to have to drink of the spiritual water. Whosoever drinketh the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into ever, verse 14, lasting life. Jesus said, when I give you this water, it's forever. You might get thirsty, but just take another sip. You might get downtrodden, just take another sip.
All right.
You might be broke, can't pay your bill, just take another sip of his water. Might not understand why things are going your way, just take another sip. Sometimes husband and wife don't act right, children act nasty, and my boss won't do me right, just take another sip
Go ahead.
of Jesus' water.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I don't know what to do. I just feel like pulling all the hairs on my head, just take another sip and get on the cell phone. Call on God. Huh? But see, this cell phone is not run by T-Mobile. And Sprint cannot make me pay charges on my cell phone.
All right.
Can I get a witness?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm talking on a spiritual phone. Old folk used to say, I got a telephone in my bosom. And I can call him up and tell him what I want.
right.
I tell you this, I got a cell phone in my bosom. And the battery never goes dead. Am I right about it? Because God said, I never sleep, neither do I slumber. I'm always woke, trying to hear you what you got to say. Sometimes you just stop and say, Daddy, I need your help.
Yes.
Say, Abba, Father, Papa, I need your help. And God will hear your cry. Am I right about it? Huh? Drink of the water, you should never thirst. But the water I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. A true worshiper must be born again. Must be born again before you make any attempt to worship. You can worship, but if you ain't born again, it won't be true worship. It'll be false worship. Because even catch this one, church, even the atheists don't worship from time to time. Because it takes some faith to believe that there is no God.
All right.
It takes faith to believe that there is no God in the heaven.
Go ahead.
The agnostic must be a worshiper. Because it takes some faith to not acknowledge God, but to know that there's some spiritual force in the world that makes this world go round. Are y'all with me today? Amen. Even the one that says God is there, but he has no part in this civilization, and he does nothing to make the laws of nature go forward, he still has to have faith to believe that mess. To believe that God would make heaven and earth and just walk away and let things go in the way they want to go.
All right.
Think that God will make heaven and earth and just say, I'm done with it. Run on your own. But the God I serve says, no. I'm here anytime you need me. Just call me up and I'll answer your prayer. He said, I don't want you to stop thinking that I forgot about you. Just because you lost your church and don't see a building at 1622 Liberty Street. Think that it's all over. God says, I've just begun to do my work. But I need some folk that have faith. Like Sister Richard said this morning, I'd be glad when we get back over to East Liberty Street. Good God Almighty, I'd be glad when I don't have to come to the hotel no more and pay money and can't stay for 3 or 4 hours in the day. Can I get a witness? I'd be glad when I be able to have church 7 days a week if I want to. And can have a clothes pantry. It can have a food pantry. It can do things for the community. It can have good God Almighty prayer meeting on Wednesdays. It can have Bible study on Tuesdays. It can do whatever we want to do because it'll be our building. But it won't be our building. It'll be God's building. Y'all ain't hearing me this morning. True worshiper of God. Oh my God. Would you be a true worshiper of God? I'm coming home now. I'm coming home now. But Jesus picks up the race question that is thrown by the Samaritan woman by telling her, woman, verse 21, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor at Jerusalem worship the Father. The Samaritans had created their own religion. They had their own idol worship on the mountaintop of Gerizim. Jesus told her, you worship, you know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews. Jesus let the Samaritan woman know that he had to preach to the Jews first. But he told her the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers, look at 23, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Why? For the Father seeketh such to do what? To worship. To worship him. To worship him. Yeah. To worship him. He says, I'm offering you eternal life. And all you got to do is drink of the water of life. And then it'll spring up into you a well of water into everlasting life. He told the woman, now is when the true worshiper to worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Worship is not confined to a place, but is rather an action of the heart.
Yes.
Can I say that again?
Yes.
Don't confine worship to a place. Don't say that because I